Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, Dr. Hubert Minnis confident in a victory at the party's convention. A retired assistant police commissioner says people are living in fear. And we hit the kitchen with an award-winning chef. Happy Father's Day and welcome to our news. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis says he's confident he'll not only win the upcoming F&M convention, but he'll also win the next general election. His comments come in the wake of persistent reports of internal party conflicts in the Free National Movement concerning his leadership. But Minnis said regardless of who challenges him, he's sure he'll win and the party will move forward united. Dana Smith reports.
I will go into the convention as the leader of the Free National Movement, and I will come out as the leader of the Free National Movement.
Minnis did not mince words when asked his thoughts on the F&M's upcoming convention set for July 27th to the 29th. The convention date was pushed up after a group of MPs gave Minnis an ultimatum: call an early convention or face being removed as leader of the opposition. In a leaked memo, the MPs outlined their case for an early convention, advising that they've lost confidence in Minnis, who they described as a failed leader. While asked if he feels the convention will ease the turmoil, Minnis said absolutely.
I think the nation is fed up and tired of the PLP, and they know that the F&M is the alternative party. They know that the F&M has a success record. Ingham has a very successful record, and we will build on what he had done.
Minnis said Bahamians are fed up with the PLP. He asserted the F&M will build on former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram's record of success and will take the country on to prosperity and success. Minnis said it's clear Christie is seeing his last days as Prime Minister, and it's up to him to determine how he wants to exit. He can either retire or run again in the next election and be forced out of office.
Since Christie don't want to voluntarily retire, he will force retirement, but he must go.
Possible challengers for the leadership post at the F&M convention remain unknown. Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner had challenged Minnis at the last convention in 2014. However, she said earlier this month she's still undecided on whether to give it another shot. Reporting for Our News, I'm Dana Smith.
Thanks, Dana. Well, with the F&M's convention weeks away, no one has come forward as yet to challenge the party leader. While some suspect Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner may once again throw her hat in the race, Bamboo Town MP Renwood Wells has a feeling whoever challenges Minnis will be unsuccessful.
Personally, I believe that I don't believe that there's going to be, well, first off, no one has really declared for the positions. Okay? But from my perspective, from what I see, it seems to me there's overwhelming support still for the leadership of Hubert Alexander Minnis in the Council of the Free National Movement. And folks who disagreed with that asked that he put that to the test. And he's putting it to the test in July.
The F&M has been dealing with infighting for years, which recently heated up after 6 MPs threatened to write a letter of no confidence to the Governor General in Minnis as leader if he didn't call an early convention. But while the party hasn't had a kumbaya moment in years, Wells feels it will all get better after the convention.
Hopefully after this, all will be said and done. The party will be off to the races. And I believe, in essence, that at the end of the day, at the end of July, the Free National Movement will come out being stronger as a political entity. Will come out stronger as a political entity. Because I do believe that Mr. Minnis will probably be returned as the leader of the Free National Movement. And after that, all the understanding is that folks will move on together.
Wells was not named on that draft letter to the Governor General. We asked him if he will be supporting Minnis come July.
I have made it quite clear that I supported him as for leader of the party. I've made that quite clear.
Bahamians are living in fear. It's the sad reality of the Bahamas in 2016, according to retired Assistant Commissioner of Police Hewlin Hanna. With over 50 murders so far this year and a recent trend of armed robberies, including that of Ivan Clear, who was shot and killed at an ATM last Sunday, Hanna said Bahamians are moving around the streets of Nassau in total fear.
Regular Bahamians are paralyzed by the thought of becoming victims of crime, even though they may not become victims of crime. But that kind of reality is what causes a kind of paralysis to set in. But also that should be the kind of reality that should galvanize us and cause us to move in the direction to make things happen.
Hannah is now the senior pastor at the Church of God of Prophecy, East Street Tabernacle. He said it's gotten past the point where criminals are attacking their own, but now innocent people. He said the shooting death of Ivan Clear was unfortunate.
You see, if we sit back and if we say, well, you know, and my sympathy goes out because this was a tremendous citizen of this country, someone who might have been unheralded, but he was a good person in this country. But if we sit back and we lament that, and then 2 days or so after it comes across, after it leaves the front pages of our mind, and we go back to business as usual, then we're going to go right back into the state of paralysis. But we have to make sure we get up and we deliberately do what needs to be done.
So what direction does Hannah see the country moving in, and what, if anything, does he think could be done?
When you think of a person who has cancer and the cancer is at such an advanced stage that there's some radical things that must be done, even to the point of possibly compromising good cells to save the patient. We're at that stage now in this country where we need intensive and intentional intervention. If it doesn't happen, we are going to rue the day that we ignored what we see happening in this country. We cannot be philosophical. We cannot do the Monday morning quarterbacking. We need to look at this elephant that's in the room. It's called crime. It's called antisocial behavior. It's called corruption in certain pockets of the society. We need to face it courageously.
Fresh off his gold medal win at the Taste of the Caribbean competition last week, Chef Richmond Fowler II invited me into his kitchen at the Aviva restaurant out at Albany to teach me a thing or two. Take a look at how it went. At the age of 29, Chef Richmond Fowler, or Chef Richie, has made quite a name for himself. He's risen to become a part of culinary management at the Albany luxury community, and just last week added cooking champ to his name after he and Team Bahamas beat out dozens of other competitors at last week's Taste of the Caribbean competition in Florida. This chef can take just about anything and make it gourmet, so he invited us to make a dish with him.
Well, today I'm going to do for you a potato croquette, but it's not going to be a regular croquette. I'm going to shape it in the form of a pear. We're going to do a lobster roulade on top of a coconut spinach ragu. I'm going to take you all the way across the continent and do a miso glazed sea bass with a fruit relish and a potato puree and a parsnip carrot puree, served with a lobster sauce.
And then we got started. What's this?
That's the croquette potato.
Croquette
Potato, yes, it's actually a breaded potato. It's actually...
Oh, it's potato. I thought it was a pear.
Well, it looks like a pear. That's where culinary arts come in. It's just a spinach ragu. Inside of it, you have onions, carrots, zucchini, squash, and a few bits of potato along with the scraps from the lobster meat.
So how long would it take to do this?
This actually is very simple to do. Once you sweat down your onions and your squash and zucchini, hide the spinach, hit it with the coconut milk, let it boil up for a minute. If you want to, you can thicken it with a little bit cornstarch and water, and you're good to go.
Nice.
You can season it to your own preference.
Ever wondered why you get such small portions? Chef Richie says it's all about presentation. So you call this gourmet, right?
Yes.
And this is our rolled lobster.
Yes, rolled lobster. There you go. Give this a rinse.
You enjoy cooking every day?
Of course I enjoy cooking. Cooking is a passion. Well, for me it is.
And what's that?
That's your miso glazed sea bass. Yes.
So fish.
Yes, fish. Lobster.
Potato.
Potato.
It looks like a pear.
That looks like a pear.
And our sauce.
No, this is actually the potato. This is actually the parsnip puree. Give it a nice roll up.
And this is just a little garnish.
Yeah, so this is actually a little fruit salsa. If you want to, that goes well with miso sea bass, because the miso glaze is a bit sweet. So the salsa adds a tanginess to it, so the contrast, sweet and sour.
And then the final touch, lobster sauce.
Lobster shells, onion, celery, garlic, bay leaf. And you want to come right here and just finish it off. There you have it.
So this is it.
Seafood dish. This isn't what I won with, but it's a I won with the lobster roll, the seafood ragu, and the lobster bisque sauce.
This doesn't take very long to make at all.
It doesn't take very long. One can knock it up at home. It looks very tedious, but it's very simple.
If he weren't a chef, Fowler said he'd probably be an architect or a lawyer. But since he's already accomplished so much in culinary arts, what's next? The Culinary Olympics.
I have a few of my teammates who is going off to Germany in October. So my next step is trying to start to practice for Germany for 20